Welcome back to Innovators in Impact Investing. Today we are joined by the CEO of one of the most iconic brands on earth, the Walt Disney Company. Thank you for being here today. Hey, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. Disney has been entertaining families for over a century, and you have been in the job for about 17 years. So for listeners who might not know the full picture, what is your overall sense of Disney and how has it evolved? So for those who have heard of the name from movies and characters but don't really know who we are as a company, the Walt Disney Company has been around for 100 years or more. We are a global entertainment leader with divisions in film, television, theme parks, and streaming, like Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu. While we have been around for a while, right? There's a lot of things that will never change, like our missions for storytelling. That is the root and heart of our company, and that will never change. Another strength that we have that won't change is our brands and franchises, especially with the progress of technology. And Walt really took the advantage of that with, like multi-playing cameras and other types of technologies that would help with storytelling. That will also leave room for many creative people out there to go ahead and paint their own creative dimensions for storytelling. But beyond entertainment, we truly believe that business can and should drive positive impact. That means investing in communities and sustainability and creativity. For example, our social impact work is a major pillar of how we think about our role in the world. We are committed to supporting the happiness and the well-being of kids, families, and communities when it's needed most. That is an ambitious vision, and thank you for sharing that. We are also curious about the change in, the big thing that happened recently. Well, it wasn't that recent, but it was the acquisition of the 21st Century Fox. What compelled you to take on this new challenge and this whole new set of risks? Well, start with the fact that I'm paid to run the company, so it is my primary responsibility to continue to deliver increasing values to our shareholders. And to accomplish that, you really have to focus pretty heavily on what's going on with the environment, our community, and how we run the businesses, which a lot of investors are concerned about. So yes, our company have undergone many rapid changes within those areas. You talked about community, environmental, and how the business is running, which reminds me of how Disney has been increasingly recognized for its ESG initiatives. Can you explain what that looks like in practice? On the social front, we have several focus areas under our social impact strategy initiative. For example, the children's hospitals and wish granting. We made, I think, over 100 million in investment in reimagining the patient experience in children's hospitals. And through our partnerships with wish granting organizations, we, I believe, have granted over 165,000 wishes globally since 1980. We also invested in youth, right? In access to media, entertainment, technology. And we hope that those could empower the next generations of creators and storytellers. We also actively engage with our employees, right? Through the Disney Volunteer program that organized Disney employees to volunteer their time and talents to programs like supporting nonprofits, granting wishes for sick children, and other environmental projects. On the governance side, we publish a very detailed corporate social responsibility, or called the CSR, reports that align with the SEC guidance and the UN Sustainable Development Goals, often called the SDGs. We hold ourselves very publicly accountable and consider the interests of stakeholders, right, as part of our decision making. And environmentally, I'd say we have a goal of net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, which is one of our most important goals. And we have been doing this by investing in renewable energies, efficient building designs, and sustainable materials, and so on and so forth. That gives us such a better sense of what Disney is up to internally. So thank you for sharing. There has also been a headlines of Disney for some political and legal challenges. So how does that fit into your role as both a business leader who is trying to uphold Disney's values? That's a great question. I mean, it's a pretty complex time, especially in 2022. We spoke out against the Florida Parental Rights in Education Act, which many critics say the Don't Say Gay bill. That came after us listening to our employees, especially those in our LGBTQ plus community, who felt deeply affected by this legislation. Before we wrap up, there's one law people often associate with Disney, so-called Mickey Mouse Protection Act. Can you tell us what that's about? Yes, that's the nickname for the Sonny Bono Copyrights Term Exclusion Act of 1998. It extended copyright protection to 70 years after the author's death, or 95 years for corporate works like Mickey Mouse. Critics said that Disney pushed for it to keep Mickey Mouse out of public domain longer. While that's true in part, it also reflected the broader industry effort to modernize copyright law in the digital era. We think Mickey Mouse is a cultural legacy that helps protect the heritage that support the creative economy as a whole. That's awesome. So to close, I would love to pose one question for our listeners as usual. Given Disney's influence over global culture, does the company have a greater obligation due to a diversity of investors than smaller businesses to promote social missions? So whether you're just a small business owner or within a board of a big corporation, I think it really helps to have these conversations. Make sure that we prevent as many public backlashes and misunderstandings as much as possible. So thank you, Mr. Robert Eager, for your insights today. And for those who are watching, thank you for tuning into our podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode.